Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to Moscow. Now, I've got a kind of an interesting video for you today inside a 10-level shopping mall. Now, I'm hoping that it's packed and full with people, and every shop is open, but I think not. I've literally started here at -4, so I'm 4 levels underground in the car park, and so far, the car park is deserted. Now, the reason this is 10 levels, I'm going to show you a little bit later on in the video, so stick around and let's go check out what a 10-level shopping center is like during sanctions in Russia. Now, this shopping mall is basically 4 levels underground and then 6 levels above the ground, and there's a little bit of a surprise on the top of the 6th level, which we'll get to a little bit later, but so far, there is nobody here. This is -4. So there's actually essentially 4 levels of car park built below the street level. So we're going to head on upstairs and see if it gets any busier, shall we? All right, and just like that, we've gone from -4 to +5. So we've gone 9 levels from underground to essentially the top of the shopping mall, which is level 5. And we got the level 6 to show in a little while, but as usual, all Russian shopping malls tend to have their food court on the top level here, so we'll see here quite a few people having lunch. Of course, all the usual foods are here, KFC. There is a few kind of Russian and CIS kind of takeaway places, which is kind of nice. There's actually a lamb place right here. And then Cheesy Mania. Okay, we know Krashka Katochka, baby potato, but this is where everybody is hiding in Russia. They're all hiding in the food courts. Teremakov in the distance. There's actually a really nice food court. There's plenty of choices. There's probably more than 30 different choices to choose from, and there's a few sit-down restaurants as well off in the back there. Bubble Tea, China Market, King Wok, so plenty of things to choose from, and it says here you can go down to level 4, but we're just going to take a little more look further on level 5 here. But this is where everybody is. Everybody's at the food court, tucking into some food. Now, I think from this top level here, we can get an idea of how big this place is. Have a look at all these kind of glass escalators here, where you can see all the mechanisms and workings of the place. But up here is a lot of the kids stuff as well, so yeah, plenty of levels to discover. It's probably one of the major businesses in terms of retail and shopping centers that are suffering are the movie theaters. Now, as we've seen in other videos, there's the self-checkout kind of option. They've removed the counters now where you've got the lady where you buy the tickets from, but they've got the food concession here. What's interesting for me, and maybe for everyone else, is Costa Coffee is here. So you can get your coffee and basically buy and take it into the cinema. Coca-Cola is well and truly here as well. We'll have a look at that. Full fridge of Coca-Cola products. Even you've got post-mix Coca-Cola. You've got the different kind of food and snack options. Fanta, Sprite, and this is kind of neat here. Here's the popcorn. They basically have it pre-made, and then it comes in different sizes, of course, but then it's put in a kind of like a refrigerator. You've got different types of them as well. Coca-Cola and popcorn special, but this place is pretty much empty though. It's an 8-screen cinema up here on the top level of the shopping mall. The other thing in the movie theaters in Russia is you can get alcohol, and they've got Heineken on tap. Didn't Heineken leave Russia? I think it did, but they got Heineken on tap here. Ice cream. You can also get martini. You can get some vodka, whiskey. Yeah, this is the adult section, of course. Yeah, the one thing Russian shopping malls do very well is cater to families and kids. This is Jockey Jora here, which is kind of like a activity center for kids, so you can leave the kids, drop them off, go shopping yourself. And then here's a kids' supermarket, essentially. All things children related. So books, toys, clothes, everything you need in one place. And this is all on the same level here, which is kind of neat. There's even an aquarium over here where you can feed the fish. Look at that, little mini aquarium. But you can see here how empty it is. I mean, there is a lot of levels to the shopping centres, so people do spread out quite easily across the levels, but yeah, not too many people. And then here on the other side as well, there's more kind of empty store locations. A few people coming out of one of the stores just to head there. Just walking around a little bit further here, this is kind of interesting. This is Gostalugi here, which is kind of like the council offices for the district, where you can do a lot of your paperwork and documentation for where you live and for your apartment. And it's basically like government assistance. And I didn't notice this until just now. They've actually got their own little coffee shop right here just off to the side. How's that? How many government office do you go to that's got its own coffee shop built in? But yeah, we've got one of these in our shopping centre where I live, but it's not as fancy as this one. This shopping centre certainly is big. I mean, it's actually kind of compact in terms of the physical space, but the fact that it's between -4 and then up to level 6, it's just amazing how much they've sort of fit into a small kind of parcel of land. But you know, they build these shopping centres in every district, but they just don't get the amount of population through that they would probably predict when they build them. So walking on down another level, again, we've kind of got empty corridors here. All the shops are actually open though. There's kind of a lot of stores that I don't recognize the names of, which is kind of interesting, because going from mall to mall, you do recognize a lot of the same stores. But here is Rough Mark. I wonder if he's Mark's very rough. I don't know, unless it's maybe it's got some sort of German connection, I wonder. But beautiful shopping mall, just needs more people. I can't say that enough. This is kind of an interesting name for a store. So Seller, Moms and Monsters. I like how they've kind of played on like a mother and kids, I guess. I'm pretty sure that's what the reference is. But Mums and Monsters. And they've really got the American mom as well, which seems to be a bit of a theme in a lot of Russian shopping malls. They kind of play off the American branding. Here we see the big Uniqlo here that's no longer open. And as we get towards the other end of the level right here, kind of quietens down considerably. There's Techno Park here, which is a very nice electronics store. Very, very professional staff in here. They're very tentative, I guess you would call it, attentive. When you go in there and you need some help, they're very well trained. But not too many people inside. There's probably 7 or 8 people in the whole store. You can see here just how empty this end of the shopping mall is. Just walking a little bit more here, again, it's there isn't many people. This is actually afternoon time. It's kind of coming into the end of the day where a lot more people tend to come out to the shopping centres, and just not too many people around. Here is Street Beats, which is one of the multi-brand shoe stores. So yeah, it's definitely kind of feels quiet. So we've come down to the main entrance of what was Uniqlo right here. And this part of the shopping mall really is very, very quiet. Now, I'm not sort of intentionally trying to get nobody in the video. You can see people off in the background of all the different shots, but a couple of interesting here is Cinnabon is well and truly open. A couple of ladies and someone getting some takeaway there. Oh, and I just want to point out here also Tissot. Now Tissot has announced quite a while ago that they were leaving Russia. But everywhere I go, I seem to still find them open. So, very interesting that they're trading here, but just walking along here to this sort of back part of the, it's not really a front and back of this shopping center, it's kind of more like an oblong shape that you kind of walk around on each of the levels. So this would be the lower entrance of Zara, as the speakers get very loud at this end of the shopping center. Yeah, the people hanging about. I'm not sure. Maybe they're waiting for shops to open. I don't know. So the shopping center we're in here actually is kind of rather famous for the very last part of the video. So you can scroll ahead and go and find it if you like, but we'll catch it right at the end of the video. But otherwise, I mean, being essentially 5 levels of shopping, the top 6 level we're going to visit, -4 parking. And it's not a small place when they built this. It's been open about 2 years. Now I'm actually kind of walking down to another quiet part of the shops here. There's a kind of a Swiss watch shop right here, which is definitely closed. And then, yeah, there's quite a few stores closed all on the same level here. Sorry, my eyes are a bit distracted. I'm not going to do retakes. I tend to do this all in one, so kind of just looking around. But there isn't, for such a big mall, and it's actually in a very busy part of Moscow where we are here, there isn't people around. And as I keep walking along here, we see Marks and Spencer. Now, they have, I guess, announced they're leaving Russia, but at what point will they close? They just don't have the traffic. They don't have people queuing up outside like H&M had. You know, okay, they've announced a sale, that's all good, but they estimate a lot of these stores have anywhere 6 months to a year's worth of stock. And that's based on if they were selling it at much faster speeds. So you can imagine these guys aren't closing anytime soon, even this year, let alone next year. So if anyone wondering what this place was, this was one of the Starbucks locations. And it's actually been kept very well. It's very clean and tidy, barring just needing to reopen and get some things in the cooler here. But now that the Stars Coffee's opened, if you've watched my previous video about it, these guys will slowly open each location over time. So going one level further down, definitely got to the kind of more ladies section here. There's a couple of shoe shops, some perfume shops. A couple of shoe shops. There's probably about 6 or 8 shoe shops. Big Pandora here as well. Another shoe shop here on the left. Chester. Interesting name for a shoe shop. And then walking ahead further here, there's more perfume. And then jewelry shops, but there isn't people. I can't stress this enough. It's a nice ice cream store here. Well, takeaway ice cream, I guess. Look at that ice cream. Actually, I think this lady's not even there. Where is she? But, I mean, it is a very, very nice shopping mall. This opened about 2 years ago here in Moscow. And, you know, the thing is, I don't really know what to say, to be positive or negative about this. I mean, some people want to see all of these places closed. Obviously, if you're in some sort of a retail job yourself, then you'd kind of understand the pain, I guess, if there's such the right way to say it. Have a look at these butterflies in the lobby here. This is kind of pretty cool. And there's a huge kind of mirror ball right here. Can't quite get me in it, but I'm trying. And there is people coming in and out of the shopping center. You know, again, the fact that it's over 5 levels, it just creates a much more emptier place. I mean, if I compare Australia, where I'm from, we've got a 1-level shopping mall. Everybody's on the same level. There's no sort of spread out kind of, across all of the floor, if that makes sense, So, whereas here you could have, hundreds of people in here, but just doesn't seem full at all. And then here is the two major competing phone brands in Russia by a long way. Samsung here on the right-hand side, and then the Restore, which is essentially Apple resellers, which I've sort of talked about quite a lot in other videos. So I was told as well that coming up next month is the launch of the iPhone 14, I believe. So there is people still excited for that, even though, you know, they're saying that you can't get Apple in Russia, but the Apple store here is open. So walking down to the lower ground level, they have some kind of neat little food shops here, kind of Rynok style, which is kind of like a food market. So you kind of feel like you're shopping in a Russian market, but you're still in a very major shopping center. And then off in the corner here is a full-fledged supermarket called Perekrostok, which is a very nice supermarket. I've made videos about this, not this particular one, but other ones in other videos. Unfortunately, I don't have one of these where I live, so I wouldn't sort of come here too often because it's just really out of my way to get to this place. So one of the reasons I do like Perekrostok a lot is the fact that they've got a little cafe right in the entrance. So there's some kind of fast food, I guess you would call it, you know, sandwiches, sushi, salads. Then over here on the left-hand side is their cafe. So basically you just pay for your food or whatever you want to sort of eat right away. And they've got a little bakery over here as well. And you can sit down at the coffee shop and just have a little snack in between shopping. There's even a microwave, there's some cool drinks. A little bit later in the afternoon now, they'd normally serve pizza here as well. The one thing I always find a little bit strange in some shopping centers is their choice of stores. And the fact they've got a bed store in the shopping center now. I don't think I know any shopping center around the world that sells beds right next to the supermarket right here. You can just see off in the distance where it was. But I guess maybe part of your shopping, you're going to order yourself a bed while you've just come out of the supermarket, and then you head off to keep doing more shopping. I think to some degree this shopping center is not faring too badly compared to some of the others. It still does have people in here, not lots, and there's a lot of stores open versus closed stores. So there isn't kind of whole floors that are completely empty, you know what I mean? There's a big mix of stores here, so there's kind of something for everybody somewhere. So I just want to point out the directory here that's got all the different levels and some of the store names on them. Quite a lot of them are in English, of course. But I just want to point out here on the 0 level where we are now, there was IKEA here. Now, IKEA in a shopping center sounds kind of strange, but they've essentially gone, and opening very soon is Curry. Now, Curry is basically a shoe store, like a huge supermarket-sized shoe store. So they've obviously taken over from IKEA leaving, and they're doing some, I'd imagine, some pretty major renovations, because this whole corner of the shopping center was the IKEA. It says they're opening soon. There's even a phone number if I want to call for a job. That's kind of what the store will look like once it's open. But it's definitely apparent that there is not as many people even on this lowest level here. I mean, I commend the shopping center for, of course, IKEA leaving and them to find a new retailer. I mean, that's almost one of the anchor stores of this shopping center. So for them to get another retailer to come in literally as IKEA's walked away, and that's a good thing for the shopping center. Now, to film this next part of the video, or I guess kind of the ending part, we have to kind of look at some buses right here. Now, this is a bit of a clue. Now, this has got quite a few major roads very close by the shopping center. Now, this is the place where we just were. You can see all this glass here and how big it is. Now, there is a lot of people coming and going through this shopping center and through the metro station ahead of us. And then here is one part of the bus station. But what I want to show you is something kind of neat, and I hope you've stuck around to watch the ending over here. Now I'm pointing up to the top here because just up ahead of us is where we want to go. There's a lot of people on the roads here at the moment, so let's keep walking. Now just down from the shopping center here is where we want to go here, Centrali Bus Terminal. Now it looks a little bit inconspicuous here on street level, but let's head on inside and check this out. Now, lots of people just hanging around here. You'll see some people with bags. You'll see some of the other buses off in the distance. And we're gonna go right in here, Centrali Bus Terminal. I guess that's Central Bus Terminal. So we just had to walk in through security there, so I didn't film any of that. And then where we are here is a bus terminal. Now this is the lowest level here of the bus terminal. There's only two levels, either level 1 or level 6, which is kind of interesting. So this is the lower level here, the ticket office. Very, very, very nice, by the way. So if you've come from watching the shopping center video to watching this, I would love to do a separate video on this, but I think everybody wouldn't watch it so much, but we'll squeeze in the end here. There's not a lot of buses going everywhere too, by the way. But there's only two levels that we're going to cover, level 1 and 6. Now that seems strange, right? Because I mentioned at the very beginning of the video that it's a 10-level shopping center. So I started off at -4, and this essentially will be +10 once we get up there. And there's some very nice checkouts here for you to buy your tickets. And actually lots of ticket booths. Lots and lots of them. But depending on the time of day you come, it's either busy or quiet, you know, so. And then we're going to follow these guys right here. So we're going to go from the level 1. We've got only one choice to go from. So level 1 and then level 6. So let's jump in with these and check it out. All right, so a short elevator ride away, and we're up on level 6. And now I work on cruise ships, so I keep wanting to say deck 6. But this is the second waiting area for the bus station right here. Not so exciting people waiting for their buses, but if you forgot to buy your ticket downstairs, you can buy them here. There's nice screens letting you know what time the buses leave. And all these people waiting to go on their Russian staycation somewhere in the Moscow region. But it's kind of interesting that it's on top of the shopping center. Right, we're on the 6th level. And it's all very civilized here for you to go through to the buses. So there's a guy that just checks your ticket. Very, very normal, very civilized. Not like some bus stations in Moscow and in Russia where people are practically pushing each other out the way. But if we look here out the window, you'll see then the bus stops. This is the roof of the shopping center. What a great way to make use of the space. And these are pretty much all long distance buses, so they're going outside of the Moscow region, really across Russia to some point, depending on what bus you're getting on. Now I really want to ask everybody, where you live in the world, do you have such nice bus stations as they have in Russia? Now this is a regional bus station, so this is where people tend to take multi-hour trips, maybe 6, 8, 10-hour trips, overnight trips to other regions of Russia. So, but do you have a bus station this nice? And then have a look as well, they've even got a kids play area in the bus station. Baby care room, bathrooms. So nice. This little kids play area off on the right hand side here. So nice. Just have one more look at the bus station here as I head on down back to street level. It's pretty easy here. You just go straight to the elevators right here. Oh, one's even come for me right now. Let me jump in it. Okay everybody, so we've come to the end of the video. Now I hope everybody liked a little bit of an ending here. A bus station on the roof of a shopping center here in Russia. What a great way to make use of the space. This is a 2-year-old shopping center, so just such a great way to combine kind of two places in one to take the buses off the main roads outside. So yeah, thanks for watching Traveling with Russell everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments what you think of the video as a bit of a walk around. I mean, the shopping center really wasn't very busy at all. There was very few people in there compared to normal. So yeah, see you in another video, everybody. Bye.